What's going on, you guys? ShadowX here, back with you for another Dokkan battle video, and we now know what the Part 3 LR EZAs are going to be. As we can see from V-Jump here, who would have guessed? LR, Gogeta, and Vegito. I really think this is probably the only option that, we could all guess, right? I think it was obvious at this point that these were going to be the LR EZAs for Part 3. It just makes the most sense, right? So, very exciting. Got a hair in my mouth. Anyway, so not really a lot being shown off in V-Jump this time around. As typically in previous V-Jumps during the anniversary, they never show a lot. So what we do know is all the free-to-play characters are confirmed getting EZAs, as we already expected from previous anniversaries. I mentioned it before, but they literally just follow the same roadmap every year for every anniversary, so we kind of already know what to expect, right? So basically, this is just all information that, all these units are already in the game at this point, so really nothing else to talk about except the LR EZAs, Year 3 Gogeta and Vegito. So, I said that there's no way they're going to go this anniversary without including Vegito in some kind of way. Like, I just failed to believe it, and here we go. Vegito is getting his EZA, so very, very exciting there, right? So, let's talk about what I think they might look like. So, their fusion, or both their leader skills for Gogeta, are going to be 170% across the board. So one thing that is really detrimental to the leader skills now, with the introduction of the brand new LRs, the Fuse Fighter and the Beyond Super Saiyan category is, well, I mean, not really so much for Beyond Super Saiyan, but for the Fuse Fighter category that the LR Super Saiyan 4 is introduced. Both of these categories are completely irrelevant, as from being even in the game at this point, because of that category. Like, there's actually no reason to ever run these categories, so their leader skills honestly don't matter at this point anymore. Outside of like maybe Battlefield, but like you're not running them in Battlefield as a lead, right? Like, there's better leads, so I really wouldn't worry too much about their leader skill bump, even though it is helpful, I guess, if you want to run these individual categories for like maybe specific missions, I guess, outside of that. But you're better off just running the new Super Saiyan 4's leader skill, right? 200%. So, Super Attack here causes colossal damage. That needs to do something else. They need to add something else to that, like maybe lower attack or something, I don't know. Their 18 key here, they need to raise attack and defense. This unit needs defense. Both of these characters need defense. Like, offensively, they're still sort of viable in terms of the numbers that they can put up, right? But they definitely need more on the defensive end, because these two cannot take a hit to save their life at this point in the game, right? I mean, they are, what, 3 years old now? No, 4 years. So, yeah. That's what I think. They definitely need defense the most. This guy, attack and defense 120% at the start of turn. That needs to bump up to 150% at least, I would say. That would really help this character base form. P2, in addition to Rainbow Key Spheres obtained. I think also what they should get is like, I would say this guy needs additionals more than anything. I don't know. Maybe they get maybe they need to make them support types. Honestly, maybe 2 key and 30% attack and defense to the rotation or something. I don't know. I think the best way to go for these characters is just to make them support type characters, right? I think that would really help them a lot. But they need defense more than anything. Maybe you can give this unit like a scouter effect, or I don't know, additionals, because he is already super effective against all types. I don't want crit on this guy just because of that, right? I think when you have characters that are already super effective against all types and you give them crit, it's actually just, there's no point. It's like the value there is just, it's actually a devaluable mechanic because they're already super effective against all types, right? So it doesn't really make sense when they do that, so I don't want that on this character. And then this is the big thing that has to change on this unit. Use when HP is 50% or below starts with the 6th turn. No. This needs to be 4th turn and under. Maybe, I don't think they're going to change the HP restriction. I think they're probably just going to leave that at 50%, but you need to change this to the 4th turn. We want to be able to play with Gogeta, and right now it is, especially on difficult content, you cannot. Here's the problem with difficult content now. These enemies, they don't whittle your health down. You get one-shotted out of the game. Like, that's literally what these bosses do. So, a lot of times in difficult events, you're struggling to even make it to turn 6. And I've said this before, but You cannot complete difficult content relying on low HP. That will never ever get you a win. So being able to fuse in the 4th turn for both characters I think is ideal. That's really best case scenario in terms of what we can see, what we can ask for. But we'll see what they decide to do. Let's talk about Gogeta and what I think maybe he might do. So obviously, the lead skill when he transforms stays the same. Super attack again, Colossal, Mega Colossal, and lowest attack defense. So already his super attack effects are pretty good. I don't think they'll probably change anything there. His passive here, so he'll keep the HP recovery, which is really viable still. He's already super effective against all types, right? Attack defense 150%. They're probably not going to change too much with this character. I just think, outside of making him a support type character, you need to give this guy like additionals or something. Give him a scouter effect at the very minimum, or like just give him damage reduction at best, right? Just make these guys crazy, which I think they are going to be already. But yeah, they're not gonna like make these guys better than the anniversary characters, right? Obviously, but they're going to be viable. I can promise you guys that. Right, like they're going to reign supreme in terms of being the best EZAs in the game. I definitely think that is going to be a fact. It's going to be a matter of time before we see what they actually do. So we're probably about a week away finding out the information. So there's Gogeta. Let's talk about Vegito real quick. So again, leader skill for Patara category is going to be 107% across the board. His super attack here causes colossal damage on his 12 key. Maybe give that an effect as well. His 18 key, again, raises attack for 1 turn and causes Mega Colossal, so, again, he needs defense more than anything, because, as I already mentioned, these guys cannot take a hit, so, again, attack defense. I think, another thing I want to mention is I do think both these characters are going to be very similar designed, sort of in the way that, like, Tech Gogeta and S-Tier Vegito. I think that's a good example that they could base these guys' EZA kits off of, right? So, I definitely think we're probably going to see a lot of similarities between those two units. We'll see, but again, attack defense, that needs to be at least 150% to be viable in today's difficult content, right? The red zone, literally the most difficult content. And actually, I took physical Gogeta in the baby fight because he has type advantage, and I actually almost won. Like you can bring him in there and beat him, but you have to float him, and he cannot get touched with a super attack. Right now, he will die. So I would argue he's just not runnable at this point. His defense just doesn't hold up. Offensively, him being super effective against all types already, he can put up good damage still. But yeah, defense obviously is where these two units lack. So 2 key per keys for obtained. Again, the difference between this Vegito and Gogeta, as we obviously know at this point, is Vegito has counters. And Gogeta, unfortunately, can never meet the standards of Vegito in terms of damage output, right? And it's unfortunate because it's just the way it is. Counters are literally one of the most, like, busted mechanics in the game. Like, the damage output that this Vegito is going to be doing with this EZA is going to be insane. Like, what if they just gave him, like, guaranteed crits when he counters? Like, I don't know if they're going to go that far, but that's gonna be ridiculous. So yeah, I think you give this guy the scouter effect, and then you give Gogeta like damage reduction, and then make both these characters support type units. I think that's like probably the best way that I'd want these two built. But that's just my opinion. So again, fusion condition we already talked about needs to be 4th turn at best case scenario. I don't really mind if they don't change the HP restriction. I would like it to be at least 77% and below, just because, given the theme of the anniversary, 7th year anniversary, I think it'll make a lot of sense. But we will see. So, again, links and categories obviously don't change when they EZA. They do go SA25, so you do want to remember that. So that is going to, overall increase the damage output for both characters, which is going to be very good, because they already are damaging enough at this point. So it's just defensively is what I'm worried about with these two, because that's really where they lack as of right now. So we will see what these two end up looking like. Very exciting news in regards to part 3 of the anniversary. Don't forget about all the other free play units EZing as well. Let me know how you guys are enjoying the 7th anniversary, and I guess that's going to do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, I will see you all in the next one.